Book Live with Amanda Hall Psychic here from the Gold Coast in Australia. Each week I feature a workshop that we're working our way through some very interesting topics on psychic and astrology subjects. I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome you. We'll wait a couple of minutes while everybody sort of jumps on board and sort of says, hi, I'm here, and it's great to see you again. We're up to workshop number 28. And that's an amazing feat when you think of, how quickly the weeks go by. And I'd like to welcome everybody that's joining us here today live. Today we're going to be discussing dreams. Dreams are one of those very complicated, very complex subjects that a lot of people sort of really don't understand what dreams do for us in our lives. What is the power of a dream? Why do we have them? Why do we need them? What benefit can they be to me? So let's get some T's and C's out of the road. My name's Amanda Hall Psychic. I've been in the psychic industry here in Australia for over 40 years. I've been inducted into the Psychic Hall of Fame, and I've been voted again for the third year in a row Psychic of the Year. So I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody that voted for me. It is a People's Choice Award where the public actually vote that. It's not voted by my peers as the induction into the Psychic Hall of Fame was in 2013. This is not a segment where I do actual free readings. I don't offer free readings in this segment. This is purely an educational mini workshop that I do here each week after my show out of the Washington District in the US of A on A1R Psychic Radio on Moonstruck TV, where we do actually offer a couple of free readings to the public from around the world on that show as part of the formula on that show. What I endeavour to do here with my mini weekly workshop is to educate people how to work with, number one, the power of candles, and number two, to work with on a point of focus. And this week it's going to be dreams. So I'll apologise ahead of time that I don't give shout outs. I don't sort of wave to everybody and look at the screen and say, hi, this one's tuned in and that one. If you like to leave me a little message or say where you're from, or how your week's been, or what you'd like to see on the show, I promise you I will get back to you within the next 48 hours on the message thread. I like to keep this presentation as seamless as possible if I can, and that's why I won't be looking at the screen at whose name's popping up. I do appreciate your input, and I do appreciate all your little hearts and little things that go across the screen, but I like to sort of keep this as focused as possible. It's been a very, very interesting week in the last 7 days since we were here. We did have the full moon in Pisces, and I'd just like to quickly recap on that before we head into the dreams, and that'll enable everybody to sort of get ready and get their pad and pen ready if they want to take some notes. The full moon in Pisces, if you tuned in last week, you'll know that I talked about it as being, in my opinion, the most powerful full moon for the year, because it's the final sign of the zodiac. It's where we're able to encompass all the energy of the other 11 signs. And the full moon in Pisces to me is where we're able to release everything that we may have been, releasing bits and pieces over the last 12 months, but we could do it in a slow, gentle, caring sort of way that we just sort of was like exhaling and sort of just letting it all go and sort of saying, oh, wow, now I feel as if all the burdens, all the stress, all the things that I've been working on and I wanted to release have now just left my body. And then I can just sort of take a little bit of time to sort of just say, yes, isn't it nice to just be here and just be? And that's one of the reasons why I thought that it would be the perfect time to introduce the Dreams Candle and do a dream mini workshop on the back of that full moon in Pisces, where we've done all this, really heavy lifting over the last 12 months. We've done all the releasing. We've tried to come to terms with anything that didn't feel comfortable with us and make peace with it and find a place that, we could make it work for us, even if it wasn't exactly as we wanted it, but we tried to make our lives more peaceful before we move into the sort of, the next part of the astrological calendar, where things start to ramp up and get, motivated and moving and fast paced again. And sort of, we're into sort of like a brand new 12-month cycle. It was sort of like, this is the time I think that we can really look at the power of our dreams. So first and foremost, I want to again take the opportunity to thank you for being with us. If you want to sort of catch up on some of my 27 previous workshops, there is a page set up on Facebook for the shows and the workshops, on just a page where you can go and binge watch any of my previous shows on A1R Psychic Radio, on Moonstruck TV, or any of my mini workshops here on Facebook Live. So that's, it's in the blurb up at the top there. You'll find the link to that. You're more than welcome to jump across there and watch them in your leisure at any time you like, and feel free to share them with your friends. So dreams, why are dreams important to us? Now, most of us sort of acknowledge the fact that we have dreams in some sort of fashion. Some people say to me, oh, look, Amanda, I don't ever remember my dreams. Well, that's not exactly true. We all dream every single day or every single night when we rest, whatever your sleeping schedule is. But for most of us, it's something that we don't retain when we wake up in even first thing in the morning. For those of you that are lucky enough to remember your dreams, well, hallelujah, you're really very, very lucky. But for most of us, it's gone. As soon as our eyes are open, our feet hit the floor, we're ready to start our busy day again. And all of a sudden, conscious mind kicks in and bang, we're off and we're running. And we've got, so many things we need to complete for the day. We don't have time to even give a second thought to what we might have visited or dreamt during the night. So why do we have dreams? Well, dreams, in my opinion, are a very, very important part of our processing of the day-to-day issues. I think dreams take many different forms, but a lot of the things that we do in our day-to-day life, we have to go back over it. We have to digest it. We have to download it, process it, categorize it, what we're going to keep, what we're going to put in the too hard basket, and what we're going to release. And a lot of times we lock things away for, oh, I'll get around to that later. So it gets put away in the subconscious and the unconscious part of our mind for later on. When we get the time, we'll go back and revisit it. Now, this is the reasons why I feel that a lot of times people say to me, I don't understand why these things from my past are coming up. That happened 20 years ago. Why would that be coming up into the conscious part of my mind now? Or more importantly, why am I dreaming about it? What is the hidden message here? Why is this happening, Amanda? I usually say to people, it's because it's one of those things that we put away for later on and we never got back to it. And when our emotional body says that it's time to revisit this, or it's ready to release it or work on it or let go of it, it comes from the subconscious into the unconscious into the conscious part. So whether the conscious part of our mind is bringing it into our daily activity or whether it's bringing it into our nighttime activity of dreams, it really doesn't matter. It's just saying, okay, this is ready now to be, it's this issue's turn. We need to look at this. We need to revisit this. We need to take out of this what we want to keep. What lessons did we learn? Is there anything else we need to contribute or work on? And then it's time to say it's completed. We can release it. So dreams do play a really, really important part in our day-to-day life. Now, for me personally, I don't remember a lot of my dreams. So if I get woken up in the middle of the night with a dream that really is quite real, I get up out of bed and I actually take some headlines of that dream. But I've learned over the years to be a little bit more precise than that. And the reasons why I'm going to say that to you is because sometimes dreams don't make a lot of sense at the time. And sometimes they can be sort of shown to you like a snapshot or a photograph. And you sort of think, well, that doesn't make logical sense to me why I would see that. So let me use this analogy and help you understand why we need to take some very clear notes, even if they're only in headline form, so that then in the daylight hours, we can fill in the gaps around it, but we've got that trigger to help us recall the information that was being shared with us in the dream. Now, I'm a firm believer in everybody has their own terminology and no one size fits all, and dreams are exactly the same. They fit into that category. So let me use this example. If you feel comfortable with snakes in your life and you love them and they're a great pet and you can't wait to go and find one and touch it and play with it, then snakes to you are a good omen. If you're someone like me that's absolutely terrified of them, can't even watch them on the television and feel creepy and get the cold shivers and nearly have a heart attack, then a snake in a dream to me would not be a good omen. So again, I want you to look at what works for you. What is your way of looking at the object or the situation? Now, if I can give you this analogy. Now, imagine we've had a dream about a pink cat with purple polka dots, and it's sitting in the middle of a screen with a green umbrella up in the left-hand corner. So, okay, we'd look at the green umbrella. What would a green umbrella represent to you? What would the color green represent? What would the umbrella represent? And what would the left-hand position in the top corner represent to you? Then you would fill in that. Then you'd look at the cat. Do you like cats? Yes or no? Do you see them as lucky? Yes or no? Then you'd look at the color of the cat. Pink cat. Pink. What would the color pink mean to you? What would the color purple mean to you? What would a polka dot mean to you? And then we're starting to form a story. We're starting to get an analogy of what the actual dream meant. Now, it may mean different things to different people. As I've said, some people might say, oh, I absolutely adore the color pink. And someone else would go, oh, yuck, it makes me want to puke. I feel sick when I see the color pink. So be aware in dreams, we need to document how we're feeling emotionally in the dream as well. That's a really important concept because it tells us whether we need to be alert, whether we need to be aware of something. Were we feeling calm? Were we feeling happy? Were we singing? If you're in the dream, take notice of the type of clothing you're wearing, the colors of the clothing. Did you have shoes on? Was your hair done? Did you feel confident? Did you feel excited? Did you feel sad? Did you feel like you wanted to run away from the situation? There's many different emotions and things that are brought up in our dreams. Some dreams are just purely us working through the day's issues or things that might be troubling us or people that might have said something that we don't understand or don't understand their meaning. And then there's a completely different type of dream, which are the ones that I usually get woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning for. And these are what I call pre-kinetic dreams. These are ones that are like the premonition. These are the dreams that happen before the actual event happens. Now, they're the really serious kind that we all need to take notice of. Now, when I get those ones, I might stay up for half an hour to an hour and write away everything that I can remember from what I was shown. Or sometimes I even just, turn the voicemail thing on my phone and voice record what I saw in the dream so I don't have to get out of bed. I know that might sound like a lazy way of doing it, but at least it's fresh in your mind then, and you're able to get down all the details and understand how you were feeling at the time. Now, sometimes we get those premonition type dreams, and sometimes they're not always good news. Sometimes they're alerting us to the fact that, grandma's 95 and she's in the nursing home and she mightn't be with us. You might see a Christmas tree in the background and it's fading away. So it's telling you that grandma's fading either at Christmas or before Christmas. So, that's a warning type dream. If you really want to go and say goodbye to grandma, well, you better make the effort, get off the couch and go and visit her, even if it is an interstate trip or something like that, and say your goodbyes. So, that's a positive way of a negative type of dream or a sad dream. It's giving you that opportunity to make changes in your life and not to be disappointed then that when she does pass on, that you've had that opportunity to say goodbye to her. Now, on that note, I want to really be very clear with people. If you were to have a dream about somebody having a car accident or falling off a horse or whatever, they're not always premonition type dreams. Yes, they can be considered warnings, but they don't always come to pass. Now, that can be that if you had a dream of a car accident and nobody's had an accident and you know whose car it is or the color of the car, say it's your car and you've got a blue car. Well, then I would take that as a warning to make sure that your car is in tip-top condition. Are the tyres all pumped up? Have they got good tread on them? Have you had the brakes fixed? Is your horn working? Be aware to be more observant than normal when you're driving the car. Don't have things distracting you. This day and age, people tend to be, the mobile phone rings, I'll just grab it and answer it. Well, no, there's no phone call that's that important that you either, one, they can't ring back, or two, you can't find a safe space to stop and take the call or ring them back. Don't try and think it's only going to take 20 seconds. That 20 seconds you take your eye off the road could be the difference between an accident and not having an accident. So there's many different reasons why we get dreams, but a lot of times it's just that process of our day or our weekly events or things that are going on, things that we didn't at the time when we were working through them during the day, we didn't resolve. You had a conversation with someone and yes, you might have answered them, but then it's only later you think, well, what did they really mean by that statement? Well, they're the sort of things that can sort of roll around in our mind as we're drifting off to sleep and can take form in the form of a dream, which may be a little bit distorted, a little bit cryptic, maybe different to the way it was during the day, but it's showing you another possible scenario of how the dream or the situation could have unfolded. So how would you work with a dream candle, I hear you ask? So for those of you that are familiar, that watch the workshop regularly, you'll know by now I have 28 candles in my psychic candle range that I developed a couple of years ago with a artisan candle maker here on the Gold Coast. And what we endeavored to do was to bring about candles that would be for a specific purpose, that everybody would be able to work with a particular candle to enhance certain areas of their life. And, as we were working our way through, things that we thought people would want, dreams was one of those ones that everybody kept sort of suggesting to me that, Amanda, maybe you need to just have a specific candle for dreams so that people can sort of really intensify their dreams and help them dream in a more powerful, dynamic way, a way that they may be able to remember their dreams more. And sets the scene for that, maybe they could burn a dream candle 15 minutes before they go to bed in their bedroom, and that sets the scene with a beautiful fragrance going through that, helps them relax and calm down for the night's sleep ahead. So this is my dream candle, and it has a beautiful fragrance. The fragrance is actually called Dreamsicle, and it is a beautiful fragrance. It's very soft, it's very gentle, probably a little bit florally, I suppose would be the best way to describe it. So what you would do if you want to enhance your dreams, I'd like you to write a few things down on a piece of paper. Now, it may just be that I would like to bring more powerful dreams into my sleep time. And that's perfectly fine. Something along those lines, whatever it is that you're looking to do with your dreams. Some people want to sort of intensify their daydreams that they have during the day to help them become more creative. That when they've got that, 10 or 15 minutes when they can be outside and looking at the ocean or sitting in the park and just letting nature, swirl around them, beautiful at fresh air and just doing nothing, not on a device of some kind, just being with themselves or into a very elementary stage of meditation, that they would like their mind to wander and show them in a daydream form what it is that they need to be doing next. So, there's many different ways of looking at dreams. So you can pop that down on your piece of paper, read that out aloud as you go to light the candle, and then pop it underneath the candle. Now, when we go to light the candle, these extra large candles have 2 wicks. I like to burn one side one day and the other side the next day. There's 2 reasons why I do that. You get a longer burn time out of your candle. You'll get up to 100 hours out of an extra large candle, where if you light both wicks, you'll be lucky to get between 50 to 60 hours. But also more importantly is the glass containers themselves can get quite hot. And with the variations in temperatures, sometimes, not often, but sometimes the glass container can crack. I've found by using alternate wicks, I've never had a container crack then. I've only ever had a couple of them crack over the years that I've been working with them. But again, I'm so mindful of sharing this information with people so that you realize then it's not necessarily something that you've done wrong or the candle is faulty. It's sometimes just the change in barometric pressure that can cause, the temperature to drop, and the glass is so hot that, with the colder air coming on it, it cracks. So less likely chance of that happening. When you light the candle, always place your candle on a placemat or a coaster or something else before you place it on the furniture. Because again, I'm saying to you, the glass container can get hot. We don't want to scorch your furniture, but it also helps minimize the cracking of the candle because we've got something else between you and the actual table or the surface that you've got it on. So that's our extra large candle. For those of you that might want a smaller candle, this is our travel kit. These come in a box set of 3. You can choose any 3 candles from the 28 in our range. So it's your choice. This one I've made up this week is of the 3 dream candles. They burn for approximately about 15 minutes each. So that's a nice alternative. You can take those to work with you, or you can take them with you when you're traveling. So you've still got your candle therapy going on. I like to burn a candle between 15 minutes to 2 hours per session. I like to do things in lots of 7 days, but it's entirely up to you with something like a dreams candle. You might want to burn it for 15 minutes as you're reading your book of a night before you go to bed, and use your glass lid as your way of not blowing your candle out, but putting your candle out before you go to bed. For those of you that don't want to work with a flame, you can pick up down at your variety store or your supermarket an electric melt warmer. They have a little button on the side. You can take half a teaspoon out of your candle of your soy wax and put it in the top of your melt warmer. Again, same principle. Write your little list, read it out loud, pop it underneath, pop it on a coaster. You can safely leave these unattended. You can have these going in the background for all day and just switch it off before you go to bed. They are an economical way of using your soy wax. And, then you've got the best of both worlds. You can either burn your candle when you want to, or you can take some of your soy wax out and use it in your melt warmer. I tend to use both. I use a melt warmer in my office where I have one set up just has protection soy in it, where I use that when I'm doing my psychic work. And then in the mainstream part of my house, I have another melt warmer with what I'm burning, what I'm using for the week. And this week it's my dreams one. So that's just some suggestions there on how to work with it. So for those of you that might want to look at having a private reading with me, you can head to my website, amandahallpsychic.com.au. While you're there, why don't you sign up for our weekly newsletter? And with that, we give you the opportunity to have a free astrology chart emailed to you anywhere in the world. You're under no obligation to purchase anything, but you are more than welcome to stay with us with our weekly newsletter. From time to time, we have different specials that are only for the Amanda Hall Psychic family that are part of the newsletter that don't get offered in any other area of my work. And also for those of you that, might want to buy a candle or might want to get a reading, pop over to the website. As I said, when you're at the checkout, type in the word Facebook in capital letters and you will receive a discount. I offer free postage here in Australia, but for our overseas family, I can't afford to offer that sort of service. But what we do alternatively is offer a flat fee of postage, and that you can put in your basket as many things as you want, and you will still only pay that one flat fee of postage anywhere in the world. And so I might suggest you, if you want a couple of things, save up your pennies and buy them all in one go, because it will make it a cheaper way of postage for you. Next week, our mini workshop is going to be the new moon in Virgo. So I hope you can join us in 7 days' time for that. All our workshops here on Facebook are entirely live and free. You can watch them at any time. You can play catch up at any time. I really hope that you may join us next week on A1R Psychic Radio. For those of you here in Australia, it's high noon on the Wednesday. For our beautiful US viewers, it's 10 p.m. Eastern time on a Tuesday night. So maybe you might need to look up what the time difference is for you and join in the show. But A1R Psychic Radio has shows running 3 nights of the week, starting from 8 p.m. till midnight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night out of the USA on the Washington District. Each one of the shows a half hour in length. There's an amazing plethora of psychics, healers, Reiki masters from all around the world. Each show, there is an opportunity for 2 lucky viewers to get a reading free of charge. So it's certainly worth checking that out, not just for my show, but for all the others. That, lots of different knowledge is shared along the way each week. So I hope you can join us. So I hope you're going to have an absolutely awesome week. I hope I've answered everything that you wanted to know on dreams. Please feel free, as I said, to join up to our newsletter, get your free astrology chart. On next week's show, as I just mentioned, we'll be having workshop on the new moon in Virgo. And on the difference between the show on A1R Psychic Radio and what I do here on A1R Psychic Radio, we follow a definite format each week. We have the Simply Tarot card of the week. I do feature the candle of the week that we're going to be featuring in the workshop half an hour later. We have a mini astrology lesson. We also have a glimpse around the universe. And we, talk about a lot of other different things as well. So anyway, until next week, have a great week. Keep smiling. Love to you all. Bye for now.